Hey there everybody, and welcome back into Call of the Wild, where today we're going to be doing all about alligators. We're going to be covering all of the info that we know so far, as well as passing off a couple of questions to you guys about what you think as well. Let's go ahead and jump on into it. So the first thing is the alligator need zones. Now, every animal usually has the three type of need zones. They have feeding, they have drinking, and they have resting, and alligators are exactly the same. They will have all three of the zones, and they can be expected to be found anywhere around the main river running through this map, as well as the small lakes surrounding it. The alligator populations are a topic of debate at the minute. Some of the creators are finding huge alligator herds, and some of them, well, what would an alligator, would it be called a group of alligators? I'm not too sure what the technical definition would be. But when the alligators are all together, some people are finding a lot of them in one area, some people are finding very few. So it does seem to be that there is a good, diverse range of the herd size. And one of the alligator hotspots that has been found so far is right down here at the Great River Lodge, where you can often find quite a few of them around here. Some people even going up into the lodge, onto the stairs, and shooting down into the water, taking some out. So really good opportunity for you to go ahead and take out some alligators, which can be expected in this little cove bit here, and probably also around the other areas too. One of the other hotspots that I've noted is this one over here. I've found 3 or 4 alligators, only female so far, but I do expect there to be more. Now, as you guys can see here, my map is not the most opened up at the minute, so I am using a combination of my short time playing as well as what the other content creators are saying. But there's this one over here, which is apparently quite a hot spot for the alligators, and then this one right up on the top of the map as well. So definitely check those out when it comes out, and let me know if you guys are finding any alligators over there. Now, also, like I said, I suspect that there will be quite a few around the river area as well, because the alligators are a primarily water-based animal. It has been reported that they can be seen to be taking a good old munch on another animal, typically the hogs and the turkeys. So that is something that you guys will have to go ahead and have a look out for on the map. Now, I haven't ever seen this myself, okay? So this is just hearsay at the moment. However, it has been suspected that they might actually be hostile towards the other animals, which would be pretty cool. Obviously, on other maps, we have seen remnants of animals on the ground, especially with things like the coyotes. We've seen that they leave a trail of bones behind them as well. So that is something that maybe the alligators have brought to the tables with the Mississippi Reserve. Next thing, obviously, being how the alligators will interact with yourself. Now, you guys will remember in the first video that I did on this map, my initial impressions, the alligators and I were very hesitant to go near each other. And all I found on that was that the alligators actually spooked. They ran away from me, and I actually had to shoot them before they disappeared. Now, will they do something similar to the way that the plains bison can turn hostile? I'm not too sure. You know, if you hit them, maybe they'll go fleeing, maybe they'll turn aggressive. I'm not too sure about that. I will have to do a little bit more hunting when it comes down to actually taking on the alligators for myself. However, it is suspected, based on what I've seen so far, that they will just be a passive species. As much as it would be cool for them to, you know, chase you down and to try and, you know, snip at your backside, it does look like they are going to be waterbound and flee rather than attack. Speaking of the alligators fleeing, now when it comes down to them getting spooked and running away, they will do one of two things. If they are in the water, they will submerge themselves underneath the surface until they become calm again. So if you sit there, they will hopefully resurface after a couple of minutes. And then if they are on land, if they are close to the water, they will seek to go into the water to be able to hide. Or if they are too far away, they will try and get themselves camouflaged in some bush next to them. So that is the way that the alligators are currently behaving. And it's really interesting to see the way that the alligators, one of the most dangerous animals in terms of reptiles that North America has, obviously excluding snakes because they're vicious things. Sorry to all the snake owners out there. But the wild snakes, they will be obviously quite dangerous, but the alligators are quite a worry for people as well. So to know that they are going to try and hide under the water, or, you know, basically hiding behind a tree, is almost funny. And there's definitely something that can be said about that. Now, we've got something else calling off to us over here. We've got the black bear calling off to us, as well as the eastern wild turkey there. But we're going to keep on moving. I am trying to get a bit more of this map opened up as we go. Now then, in terms of the alligators scoring, that is quite an interesting one. These guys score big numbers. So for something like a silver, you are going to be looking at a score of 226. For the gold, you are going to be looking at a score of 378. And then for the big old diamonds, you are going to be looking at a massive score of 492. Just checking my notes there, making sure I give you guys the correct information. So they are clearly showing massive scores, and it's understandable as well. The alligators are absolutely huge. It's going to be really interesting to see if there are any rare fur variants, though, because currently, obviously, as we know in this new update, all animal furs have a name given to them. There's no more common fur. Now, I got a olive alligator yesterday, and I believe that there is the possibility. Now, this hasn't been confirmed because nobody's found one, but I believe that there is the possibility of an albino alligator because I've seen one in the real world. I haven't ever seen a melanistic. I don't know if they exist. However, knowing that I have seen an albino before, I will expect there to be an albino in the game. There could also be some kind of piebald where it's sort of like a brown-green crossover, or even, you know, a green albino crossover. That could be a really cool piebald. But time will tell if we actually get that or not. Now, there's a level 7 there, so it would be rude if we don't go ahead and use this beautiful Hornet 22 here. Oh, come on, before... Oh, where are you going, buddy? Where are you going? Wow. So again, we managed to follow this one quite well into the forest here, but obviously did manage to get away, which shows that while the forest is clearer than on something like New Zealand, it is obviously still dense enough that the animals can hide from you. Now then, in terms of maximum weight, that is still out of the... Now then, in terms of the alligator's weight, I expect the max weight to be somewhere around the 250-300 kilo mark. It just makes sense based on the real world alligators that we get. However, one of the things that we do know is that the alligators are going to be a class 6 animal. So you're going to need something like the M4. You could use a 243 if you want to give yourself a real hard challenge. Or you could always go ahead and use the Mosin as well. And then, of course, the males are going to be maxing out at that beautiful level 9 legendary score. We kind of expected it, given that most predator species do get that rating. And then again, as we have a look out here, it looks so good. And you can see there's a lot of trees here, but I will take the trees over the sort of shoulder-high bushes that we saw on a couple of maps previously. And then speaking of the level 9s, one of the things that I thought was quite interesting with the alligators was actually the way that they are given their trophy rating. It is purely based on the length. It's not their width, it's not their width, it's not, you know, it's not their teeth or how big their bill or their mouth would be. It is purely done based on the length of them, which I thought was quite an interesting thing. I didn't really know how alligators would be scaled up against each other, but it turns out that length is the way. So again, just a bit of a short one here. I know that the alligators are something that a lot of people are asking about, so I thought this video might be really useful to give you guys all of the info about the animal that we know so far. And obviously, as people hunt more, as we get more kills, we'll start to get a better picture to the animal as a whole. However, that is the up-to-date knowledge that we know as of right now. So I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have and you haven't already subscribed, please do consider subscribing. And if this video was informative for you guys, please go ahead and give it that beautiful thumbs up. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Until then, enjoy the hunt out there. Let's get hyped for December 7th when this comes out. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, guys, thank you for watching. Peace.